Hello everyone, today in this video we'll be discussing the environmental protection 18CV753 super important questions and solutions. You can download the document, the link is in the description box, or else you can watch the video as well. I'll be explaining what are the key points and how do you remember the stuff. So make sure watch this video till the end, and if you find this video helpful, make sure the like button, subscribe my channel for more videos like this. And without wasting any more time, let's get started. So in the module 1 we have the chapter which is environmental management standards, and these are the following topics. Okay, so, what are the questions I have taken from the previous year paper of March 2022, as well as the questions which are most expected from the exam point of view, based on how the question papers are set and how the questions are usually asked. Okay, so let's have a look. What we have in the environmental management standards is unique characteristics of environmental problems. So, in environment, what are problems are there? First, you have to define that, and based on that, you have to also define what are the characteristics of the problem. So as you can see, you need not memorize anything here, just have to listen what I tell and get the basic flow of it and what are the common points present. That should be sufficient for you. Don't try to memorize anything. Explain the unique characteristics of the environmental problems. So these are the various environmental issues at the global level which are present here: depletion of natural resources, water and air pollution, groundwater pollution, toxic chemicals, ozone layer, global warming, loss of biodiversity, extinction of wildlife, nuclear wastes. These are the issues that are happening at the global level concerned with the environment. Okay, so what are the characteristics of such problem? Water pollution is characterized by excess physical, chemical or biological substances that change the quality of water. Air pollution is characterized by release of pollutants. Temperature is rising due to greenhouse effect. Contamination of water bodies due to chemical fertilizers. Deforestation due to the making of buildings and all, and waste generation by not able to actually decompose the waste as it is supposed to be. Okay, because of these things the environmental pollution is happening, and these are the characteristics. Okay, moving on, we have the what are the systems approach to the corporate environmental management. Systems approach to corporate environmental management means what are the corporate enterprises doing to ensure that the environment is safe. Okay, so what is it doing? These are the step processes. Just listen out very carefully. Define the organization's goals. What are the goals? First, you have to define that. Then secure the top management commitment. Talk with the top management what has to be done, and select an EMS champion. Build an implementation team. Hold kickoff meeting. Conduct preliminary review. Prepare budget. Secure resources. Involve employees. Monitor and communicate progress. In this way, you will be able to manage the environment. Okay, basically, you have to write about that. And this is the thing you have to draw. You'll start with business objectives and environmental pressures. You'll have a link and commitment policy. Then you will do the planning and implementation, measurement and evaluation, and review and improvement. Okay, next we have enumerate the business character tools for the sustainable production and consumption. So there are totally 16 business character tools for the sustainable production and consumption. Okay, sustainable means what? We are trying to develop the country without use over exploiting the resources, and we are saving some resources for the future generations. Okay, that is what is called sustainable development. So these are the 16 principles, and you have to remember it in this form, divided into 4 parts. This is one group, second group, third group, fourth group, and the starting letters of each of these is CPRT. Come, please rescue them. Okay, first group of first letter of each group. Come, please rescue them. And when you write CPRT, after that you have to write CIPE, PPCF, RPCE, TCOC. Okay, after that you can just go through the points. It's a very simple points. They are nothing explanatory. If you want information, I have written more points here. You can go through it. What are its key points and all? Okay, so that is a simple thing, you can do it. And next question, we have enumerate the various drivers and barriers for sustainable development. So what are the drivers of sustainable development? What are the barriers present in the sustainable development? Stewardship is the responsibility. This term means being responsible. You as a part of the environment, you're living in an environment, you are responsible for what is happening in the environment. You are also supposed to take some steps to avoid that happening and make environment a better place by protecting the environment and conserving the resources. Okay, that is what is called stewardship. There are three type of stewards, which is doers, donors and practitioners. Okay, so doers are those who go and help the cause by taking action. Donors are those who help financially. Practitioners are those who work day-to-day basis on the governmental agencies, scientists, and stakeholders. So what are the drivers means what motivates information and scientific evidence of the status of natural resources. The status is becoming very low, that has to be changed. So that is what is a motivating factor. Increasing awareness, growing public interest, regulation and customers, competitors and the local community. What are the barriers? The perception that small actions do not really make difference. This is a very big misconception. Difficulty in making green product, lack of attention, difficulty in measuring steward, lack of commitment, financial expertise, and effect on existing organizations. Because of these things, the barriers happen. Okay, like to make some change in the environment. Next, we have the question: enumerate the various environmental management principles and explain any two of the principles. Totally, there are 7 key principles. Polluter pays principle. Who is the polluter? They should pay for the pollution they have caused. User pays principle. The usage you have done from the environment, you are supposed to pay for that. Precautionary principle, self-explanatory. Principle of responsibility, principle of effectiveness, principle of proportionality, principle of partition. Okay, so some information is given here, go through it. Next we have explain abatement of pollution. Abatement means stopping. Abatement, the word term means stopping or reducing. Okay, list out major activities initiated under various schemes on pollution abatement. Different types of abatement of the pollution can be in air, water, soil, energy conservation, and these are the different policies in forest, agriculture, fisheries, industries, energy, health, land, water, atmosphere, biodiversity, and controlling and regulatory bodies. This is the National Environment Policy (NEP). Okay, and Ministry of Environment and Natural Resources has introduced this policy for having securing these things. Okay, that you have tried. Coming to module 2, we have one chapter which is environmental management objectives. So basically we'll be seeing how to manage the environment and components of that. The first super important question: enumerate the various environmental quality objective, briefly explain to. What are the different environmental quality objectives? 16 are there, very simple: reduce climate, clean air, natural acidification, non-toxic, protective ozone layer, safe radiation, zero eutrophication, flourishing lakes, good quality, balanced marine environment, thriving wetlands, sustainable forest, varied agriculture landscape, magnificent mountain landscape, and good built environment, rich diversity of plant and animal life. You need to memorize all of this. How many you can memorize just by going through it? You can keep that in mind. And after that, you have to describe regarding each of these. Basically, all the things what you have to describe is mentioned here. Go through it. Next, we have distinguish between pollution control and pollution prevention. Control means the pollution has already happened and you are trying to control it. Prevention means you are trying to prevent it. Concentration means in a particular amount of water, how much pollutant is there, that is called as concentration, and how much amount of pollutant is there, that is called as mass. Okay, mass standard. So the other information is given here, go through it. Explain the effluent versus stream standards. Then emission versus ambient standard. What is the difference between these two? Effluent means they are generally established for the effluent from the industrial municipality waste treatment to be discharged into a stream, land, and sewer or ocean. What is getting discharged into stream, sewer, or ocean? That things are called as effluent. Stream standards are nothing but establishing classification standard quality for a stream, regulating any discharge. We are establishing a classification standard quality. Primary objective of stream standards is to protect and preserve each stream for its best usage. We are trying to preserve the stream for its best usage. Okay, that is what is the difference between these two. Emission and ambient you can understand by this image. If I zoom it here, see, this is called as emission standards. Big emission that is happening. Ambient standard means small emission which is happening. Okay, that's just the quantity difference. Okay, so the further information is given here. Go through it. And the next question, we have explained the environmental performance evaluation EPE process using PDCA cycle. What is PDCA? What is EPE? Let's have a look at that. Performance evaluation. How much performance is happening in the environment? That evaluation is called as EPE. It is an internal process and management tool designed to provide management with reliable and verifiable information on an ongoing basis to determine whether an organization's environmental performance is meeting the criteria set by the management of the organization. There is an organization, there is a criteria set, whether the organization is acting according to the criteria or not, that performance is evaluated. That is called as EPE, environmental performance evaluation. And this is by a simple PDCA cycle: plan, do, check. Okay, plan, do, check. By name itself you can understand plan for something, then do thing like collecting, analyzing, accessing, reporting, and then check and act if it is up to the standards, or if it is not up to the standards, do something so that it becomes up to the standards. Okay. Next, we have cleaner production and clean technologies, zero discharge technologies. What do these terms mean? Zero discharge technology. Whatever you are discharging, that should be completely well maintained and kept somewhere which will not harm the environment. That is called as zero discharge technology. Whatever the chemicals are discharged, that is getting from here. Fresh water, wastewater will come here, solid, and recovery for the reuse or disposal in a proper manner. Or again, you will be using it for reuse and you'll be doing the same thing. Okay, so that is what is called zero discharge. And cleaner production means basically your whatever you are producing as a product, that is in a clean form. It does not have harmful environments, or during the preparation of it you did not use any harmful treatments, or you did not throw away harmful things which were produced. Okay, it aims to minimize and avoid practices such as waste treatment, including stabilization, encapsulation, and detoxification, waste dilution to comply with the regulations. We are reducing the waste. That's basically the main key point here. Okay, so benefits are given here, go through it. And cleaner technology means is any process or product or service that reduces negative environmental impacts. What reduces negative environmental impact and harm to the environment, that is called clean technology. Okay, and the current key sectors are given here. And so for getting a cleaner technology, what all you can use is renewable sources of energy, or you can use clean water, or you can do the pollution reduction by the following concepts: emission control, pollution monitoring, redemption of polluted sites, recycling, and waste treatment. Okay, moving on, we have the module 3. The chapter is environmental management systems. So we are implementing a system now. There will be particular rules and some things we have to follow. Okay, let's have a look at that. Explain EMS and EMAS. EMS means environmental management system. The system to manage the environment is called environment management system. The further information is given here, go through it. And EMAS is eco management and audit system. Eco management means economy ecosystem you are managing, and audit means you're documenting it. Okay, so it is a voluntary instrument for the environmental protection, positively motivates organizations to responsible approach and improving its environmental performance beyond the legal requirements. What is the legal requirements? Beyond that, voluntarily they are making it more better. That is called as EMAS. Okay, and there are some organizations that do the things, and what are the features of it, you can go through it. It's written here. Next, we have enumerate the benefits and barriers. Okay, so yeah, environment management and eco management. If you just write this much, you'll not get full marks. You have to elaborate it in your own words. Okay. Next, we have enumerate the benefits and barriers in the implementation of ISO 1414001 in an organization. So, ISO 14001 is the thing which makes some standards and rules. So, we have to be following that. And what are the benefits to that, and what are the barriers to it? Potential benefits are given here, pretty common sense, go through it. And barriers are given here, like the trade employment stated majority of companies accredited this in Ireland with large indigenous organizations subsidiaries. Many of these certified companies are now examining the performance downstream suppliers and ultimately require them to become ISO certified. And okay, like basic barriers are like fear of the unknown and lack of resources, lack of technical expertise, more pressing business imperatives, lack of direction, fear of failure. Okay, because of these things, they are not able to make the sustainable decisions that will not harm the environment and make their business also grow. Okay, because of these reasons, that only you have to write for the barriers. Next, we have what is environmental policy. A policy made to secure the environment is called environmental policy. Without even reading the answer, you can tell it by common sense. Environmental policy is a statement about organizations' environmental position and values. What are the steps taken by the ISO 14001 that you have to write here? And it must be appropriate organization, include a commitment to comply for the relevant legal and provide the framework for setting and reviewing the environmental changes and objectives and targets. Okay. Next, we have write explanatory notes on initial environment review (IER). Initial environment review has the following, like you're reviewing the environment. Okay, like what is there in the environment and how can you make it more better. What system you can come up with so that by following the system you can make it more better. So about those things are present here. It is about the starting point for a good environment, and it is an initial assessment, and audit is the access assessment. Initial assessment is the reviewing. Audit means documenting what all you got to know. Okay, so there are four main areas: review, consider any regulations, identify and evaluate possible environmental issues, outline the current operations and how it is managed. Then we have the management review, the second half of the question. which is regarding the management review. What is management review? Management which is reviewing. That's all. What is management review? It offers a great opportunity to keep the EMS efficient and cost effective. They ensure that what are the rules of ISO that is getting followed in their organization. That is called as management review. Also, they schedule what are the process needed to be done, what are the resources has to be done, what are the plans to be carried out, what are the projects going on, how many people are needed, all those timelines, everything they will be deciding and managing. That is called as management review. So more information is there, go through it. Explain the operational control. The next question, operational control means you have something to control and you are making some plans and tracking, keeping track of the things and controlling it. That is called as operational control. Okay, effective operational control and planning lies at the heart of every effective EMS environment management system. You have to control something and you have to make it more better. That is the effective EMS environment management system. Three things are there: policy, identification of significant impacts, and objectives and targets. Okay, that forms the operational control. Next, we have write a short note on the environmental aspect and impacts within an organizational setup. Environmental aspects and impacts. Okay, so first, what is the aspect and impact? Aspect means what is environment consisting of, and impact means when you're following some rules that will make the environment better, what is the impact that is happening. Okay, so aspect means environment element of our organization's activities. Impact means any change to the environment that is happening. Okay, so there are direct and indirect aspects. Go through it. Next question, we have explained the various environmental management schemes or programs. Okay, there are many programs which will help the environment to be managed in a proper way. So the objectives and targets will be given and the project management will be defined and monitoring will be there, like whatever is decided, is it going with the same spirit and the speed, or whatever has to be done within the deadline, is it done or not, it is optimized or not, all those things will be managed. Okay, so different kinds of programs and schemes are air emissions, energy management, green purchasing, hazardous material management, hazardous waste management, pesticides, solid waste management, stormwater management, wastewater and water consumption. Okay, so basically you have to write about what are the management schemes in water consumption. See, whatever the things are pretty common sense, whatever is there that about that good things you have to write, like water consumption means how much water is getting consumed, how can we make water more secure, how can we save the water from getting affected by some chemicals, and what are the measures to be taken to reduce the water wastage, and so on. Okay. Next, moving on to the module 4, we have environmental audit. Documentation is the main thing here. So let's have a look. Write the process flow diagram for the management of an audit program as per the ISO 19011. Okay, we have to draw process flow diagram for management of an audit. Management of an audit means you'll be having an audit, how you'll be managing it, that is called as management of an audit. Okay, so the objectives are given here. These are the steps to be followed: establish an initial contact, perform the audit plan, assign the work, prepare the work. And general means all the things like conduct the meeting, perform the document review, communicate with the audit person and assign the roles, collect the information, generate, prepare audit, conducting a closing meeting. Then after that is done, prepare the report and distribute the report. Finally complete the audit and conduct the audit follow-up. Okay, so more information is given here for each of these steps. Go through it. Next, we have the non-conformity and roles and qualifications. Roles and qualification means for the auditor, what are the roles and qualification traits are given here. Just the good things you have to write. What are the things the auditor has to be doing, responsibilities, those are given here. Go through it. Non-conformance means no EMS is perfect when system deficiencies are encountered. So when there is a deficiency coming, how can you overcome the deficiency? That is called as non-conformance. Corrective and preventive actions that is to be taken. Okay, that is what is present here. Find out the root cause, then make it more, solve it and make it more better. Basically, that's what. Major is there, minor is also there, non-conformance, and some corrective and preventive acts is present here. The statement of ISO 14001 is also given. Go through it. Steps to identify the problem, investigate the problem, find out the best solution, do execute the solution, then follow up and check if the solution is perfectly working or not. If some mistakes are there, make sure you take some actions to correct that mistakes. Okay, next we have write a note on waste minimization planning in industry. Waste is there, you're minimizing the waste. How can you do that? Prevention, efficient use, improving quality, encourage reuse. Okay, so the diagram is given here. Waste techniques can be managed by recycling, source reduction, and product modification, and few more subcategories are there. Go through it. Next we have the benefits. Obviously what are the benefits? Environment will become good, and these things will happen like the increase of production, saving money, optimize resources, and so on. Okay. Next we have enumerate the contents of environmental statement. Environmental statement is a form. If you want to fill, like in some place you have a lot of pollution happening, if you want to reduce that pollution, you can fill this form and give to the government. They will look at that and they will make the changes. Okay. So basically the form is about that only, and you have to write what are the contents of that, right? In question they've asked about the contents and enumerate the contents, so you'll be writing these contents. Part A consists basic information about company like name, address and all. Part B consists of comparison of water and raw material. Part C consists of to measure the pollutants. The rest of the things you can go on. Okay. Next, we have write a short note on environmental performance indicators and their evaluation. What indicates that the environment is performing better in terms of improvement, and what how can we evaluate it? So these are three objectives are there, and to measure the environment and evaluate its burdens, environmental problems, and get a basic foundation of the information between the organization and interested parties. Third is to provide a common foundation for the information for macro level environment. Okay, basically you are getting awareness of what is happening in the environment, and there are different indicators: environmental performance indicator, condition indicator, management performance indicator, operational performance indicator. By using these indicators, we will be actually trying to evaluate how much the environment has become good. Okay. So EPE it is repeated here as well in this module. So objectives and benefits are given here. Go through it, pretty common sense. And here EP is different things are plan, do, check, act, plan, do, then check and act. Okay. Again the same thing is repeated. So basically you have to write this only here as well. Moving on, we have the module 5, which is about the applications of EMS, waste audits, sugar and pulp industries. Like in industries, pollution is happening, right? Different industries, different pollution is happening. What are those pollutions? What is causing those pollutions? How can you overcome it? Basically, about that we have to write. Hazardous waste are there. About hazardous waste, something you have to do. What is its disposal method, and different kinds of disposals. Okay. So the first super important question, briefly discuss the applications of EMS and waste audit. EMS and waste audit, environmental effects are there, and what are the applications of it? These are the applications present here. It reduces the cost, measures the success, and it makes the public a good picture and consciousness of the environmental concern among people. It makes people more aware, and they will start working upon them and save the environment. So those things are present here. Okay, go through it. And next we have the pollution prevention opportunities in pulp, paper, and sugar mills. Okay, see how many are there total. You have to know about textile, sugar, pulp and paper, electroplating, tanning industry. Five industries you have to know what are the pollutions and the things happening. So these are the processing and the steps: raw material, pulping, paper machine, finishing. And some waste will be produced, and these are the just waste generating process. Different processes are there, like pulp washing, then blanket washing, spillage, overflow, rolling, cutting. In that some wastes are getting produced. Basically you have to handle these wastes. Okay. So the sources also given here: chemical pumping, bleaching, wastewater. What are the sources present, and how do you prevent it? By the following things you can prevent it, and all of the prevention techniques are quite similar. Go through it once, you'll get to know what are the different cleaning techniques, and how can you use alternative methods for the least waste producer. Okay, so good housekeeping and better process control, recycling. These are some of the tips you can find out. Sugar industry also the same thing: cane mill, juice scale clarifier, evaporator, centrifugation, sugar production. Some of the wastes that are getting produced here and here. What are its sources? It's given here. Go through it, and then we have some pollution also. Same goes for the textile industry and electroplating and the tanning industry as well. So these are very big diagrams. Don't try to memorize all these diagrams. Just get to know what is happening here, what are the few important key point steps and all, and what are the things I have highlighted. It's highlighted in the bullet points, like and the bold. So you just have to remember that those things, and basically writing the answer script. Tanning industry: what happens in the tanning industry, what are its impacts, how can you make it more better, prevent and control the pollution, what are the steps you can take. All these things are given here. Go through it, it should be sufficient for you. Next we have write a note on hazardous waste classification. The waste, hazardous waste means the waste which is harmful to us and the environment. So how can you make it, what are the characteristics of it? Corrosivity, reactivity, ignitability, acute toxicity, infectious property. Okay, so based on that you'll be having some factors of that characteristics and all. So you can go through it here. present here, and what are the different characteristics and the types, right? Non-specific, specific, and commercial. Okay, and these diagrams, if you remember, it's very helpful for you. Explosives, gases, flammable liquids, flammable solids, oxidizers, poisonous substances, radioactive, corrosive, and miscellaneous. These are the different signs present by each of these, and you can fill one page and you can easily score nice marks. Okay, make sure you know this very well. And this concept of the treatment of hazard waste, also they can ask physical, chemical, biological, thermal, incineration, what all happens in these steps. These all things are given here. Go through it, just remember the key points and write as much as you can in your own words. Then you have explained the concept of transboundary of pollutants. Pollutants produced in one country sometimes has to be transferred in another country because there the dumps are present. Okay, so how the transboundary happens, that is just mentioned here. Movement of hazardous waste from one nation to another nation. Okay, that is called as transboundary movement. Okay, and then conditions are also given here, you can go through it. And the procedure is for notification, consent, transboundary movement, confirmation of disposal. Notification means what? You are informing another country, or the see, you are starting from one country, you are going to another country, in between some countries are there. Notification means from this country you are informing the middle country as well as the final country that these things you have to transfer to the other countries. So you are taking their consent. Second step, if they agree or disagree, if they agree, then you will be doing the movement. And confirmation means after that is done, disposed, they have to inform to the initial country that it is disposed. Okay, so these diagrams also you have to make, and make sure you know these key points very well. Go through it once again. That's all. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to my channel if you found this video helpful. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.